You're going through a divorce. Is it crazy to suggest that you celebrate the journey and not the destination of your marriage? I know that many of us, when we're going through a separation, we're mad and we feel like we wasted all this time. We gave them the best years of our lives and then it's over. And that makes us mad. What do you think? Can we reframe that? Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Josie, the host of the From Devastated to Divorce podcast and a separation survival specialist. And today I wanted to talk about celebrating the journey of your marriage, even though you are heading towards divorce. And I don't want to say this in a way that's going to make you rethink that the marriage is over, make you feel depressed because the marriage is over. I just want you to not have the added guilt and beating yourself up because you wasted all this time. Yes, there were good times, obviously, or you wouldn't have married this person. For the most part, I'm not going to say that there aren't some of you out there that may have married somebody even though it was miserable. But for the most part, there were good times. And it's okay that there were. Obviously, it's all a process and a journey, and people change and things happen and life gets in the way. And, you lose jobs, you're raising kids. Life happens. So even though things were great at some point, were good at some point, you had some happy moments, you have some happy memories, the marriage is done. And maybe they blindsided you with a request for separation and divorce, which hurts even more. Of course, I've been there. And so you start getting angry about all the years that you gave this person and all the time that you wasted with this person. But we cannot go backwards. That's just the reality. We can't go back in time. Going back in time in your head and wishing that you couldn't have done certain things or been with him or made that choice, it's too late. And for that reason, it's okay if during this process, a date comes up that you remember fondly. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get upset. Don't get mad about it and be like, oh, it's okay. It was a lovely moment. For me, my ex asked me to marry him at SeaWorld. I was working there at the time. It was a really cool moment. The marriage didn't last. We got divorced. But I think still that was a cool story. It was neat. And I remember it fondly. And actually, I went on a field trip recently to SeaWorld and I had a moment like, oh yeah, like a big thing happened here. But I didn't get sad. I didn't get depressed about it. I just remembered it and actually remembered it kind of fondly. And that's okay because there are going to be times and situations that you were happy, that you remember, that you enjoyed. And I think that can help you to not feel like my marriage was a big old waste of time. Look at all, no, because you did enjoy things. You did have things that you were doing. You probably, hopefully, went on some vacations. You probably did some really cool things together. For me, again, I got to stay home with my son. I was a stay-at-home mom. Did that end up biting me in the ass later? Maybe, only because of the financial situation that I was in when we separated. However, I was there for my son, taking him to school, picking him up from school with his homework. I was able to do that. I was blessed to do that. I am grateful that I was able to do that. So poo-pooing the whole marriage and not really recognizing that there were moments that were great. There were opportunities that the marriage afforded me that I am grateful for. And so the point for me to say all this is that you don't have to be stressing and worrying about the wasted time. Right now, you have a lot to think about. Right now, you're dealing with the separation. You have a lot of pain. You have a lot of fears. You have a lot of worries. One of those doesn't have to be what you could have done, what you should have done, where you could be right now if you hadn't married him, if you had made a better choice, if you had made a different choice, if you had left 5 years ago, all of those things, it doesn't matter now. They are in the past. They're not going to help you. They're not going to serve you. They're just going to prevent you from being able to focus on now and focus on what you need to do to move forward and how to heal moving forward. So, yeah, there were some good times. That's okay. There were some fun times. There were some great times. You loved him, obviously. He supposedly loved you also. And that's another thing, which is probably a whole nother episode, but I don't want you to also let him rewrite your history, because they do that sometimes. They will tell you, I never loved you. And you were not crazy when you guys were like 2 years into your marriage and having like a wonderful time and having great sex and just really meshing. Don't let him bullshit you out of that. It wasn't in your head. It was real. Sometimes they need to say that so that they can break free, so that they don't have guilt. They need to tell you, I never loved you. I was just going through the motions. Bullshit. Okay? Don't let them tarnish what you know really happened. And also, don't use the positive, the great things that happened in the past to hold you there now. Don't use it as, I can't end this marriage. I gotta fight for this marriage because we had great times. Because again, those were in the past. Those were great times in the past. Where you are now, he wants to move on. Maybe he's found somebody else. Maybe he hasn't found somebody else, but he just doesn't want to be in a relationship anymore. And that's his right. Does it suck? Absolutely. Should he be more of a family person and stick with his vows? I mean, sure, but he's not. And you can't force him to do that either. So don't just say, well, we had such a great marriage and we had such great times that I refuse to let go, because that's not helping you either. That just won't help you. It's not going to help save the marriage because he's out, and it takes two people to make it work. So that's not going to be helpful. It's just going to hold you back from the journey that you need to take to get to your own healing. So I know it sounds crazy to celebrate something that's dead, but it's dead now. And up until this point, regardless of how many years you were with this person, there were gems in there, and that's okay. I hope you found this interesting. I hope it helped you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Maybe you think I'm crazy, and tell me why. You can leave all your comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.